Hi, I'm David Marsh. Welcome to Exploring the Human Journey.
Exploring the Human Journey.
Hi and welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. This is our inaugural episode, the first one ever, and we wanted to give you the opportunity to hear a little bit about the show. I'm David Marsh. This is my wonderful wife, sweet lady Gayle.
Thank you. You are just so kind to me.
So, yeah, yes, I am. Exploring the human journey means navigating the delicate dance between joy and sorrow, embracing the complexity of life with all of the experiences and emotions. It's about forging connections and finding purpose in the tapestry of existence. We grapple with the unknown, driven by an insatiable curiosity that propels us to create, explore, and understand. In our vulnerability lies our strength. We humans have the ability to love, empathize, and to go through challenges, which defines our shared humanity. Each heartbeat resonates with the rhythm of growth, learning, and the relentless pursuit of meaning. To be human is to be part of a story written in the ink of our collective experiences. Who am I? What's my purpose? This show has been a quest to answer those questions for myself, seeking the wisdom and knowledge from others who are on their own journey as well. What I have found is that I'm part of the all that is, part of a collective consciousness that has always been here and will always be here. And so I play my part to seek, to expand, and to explore what it means to be a spiritual being, having a human experience. I started this journey with Gayle in 1987, and it would only be fitting that since we filmed our first episode of the show together, that now, this being our 100th episode, spanning a period of over 6 years, we would be each other's 100th guest. Welcome to Exploring the Human Journey, episode 100.
Here we go.
100 episodes.
100 episodes.
I'm your 100th guest.
You're my 100th guest.
And you're my 100th guest.
There we go. Are you going to cry?
Maybe. I love you.
I love you too.
Thank you for the human journey I'm on, and thank you for the human journey you're on. All right, we did 100 episodes. The opening of the show was 6 years ago. Hi and welcome. I'm so glad you joined us. This is our inaugural episode. I knew I was going to cry. I think I was going to cry. It's been a long journey.
It has been. It even started before this show. Our journey did.
Clearly.
Yeah.
We did our first episode in 2017.
Mm-hmm.
We filmed a bunch of stuff. I learned a bunch of stuff. We even moved to a different property. We filmed episodes there.
Yeah, we've had a few locations, and now it's just kind of wherever.
And we took a break. We changed our lives. We did different things. I guess the update is life today is much different than it was 6 years ago. I feel like I'm still on a quest, or I feel like I'm still not done cooking. I don't know how to describe it. I feel like there's
in other words, the baby is still in there cooking.
Maybe. There hasn't been a satisfactory resolution for what am I seeking? What am I looking for? Everything that I've experienced and gone through, you've been gracious. You've said, okay, you want to have that experience? I'll agree. Let's have that experience. So catch people up. From your perspective, what has happened since our very first episode?
Well, I mean, they've been with us through several of our journeys, right?
Some people are watching this for the first time.
Right.
They're like, who are these people?
So you can always go back.
Watch episode 1.
Watch episode 1. Oh, and then you'll start to see actually our lives. We've really been vulnerable enough to do this and share what's going on in our lives, because I think the power of story and sharing your life and sharing this, the struggles, the victories, the pathway helps other people to really be able to do the same for their lives.
Yeah. You can take your pain and turn it into either purpose or passion or whatever that. There's a catchy way to say P words, turn your pain into your purpose. And it's cool. But there's a way to help people. I know that David in 2015 was deconstructing from a narrative. I had a paradigm shift of, I used to think it was one life and some judgment. Then I went, well, maybe there's more to it. Studied near-death experiences, studied hypnotherapy, did ayahuasca. Maybe we're a spiritual being and we have many, many, many different incarnations, maybe thousands, maybe infinite. Maybe there's more to it than just you get a life and you get judged. Did you do good or bad? Maybe it's more of an experience. And so that's the journey I'm on. Well, what did I miss? Because for the first 45 years of my life, I was said, this is the way life is.
Yeah.
What else? What did I not? So I asked, can we have an open relationship?
Yes. So let's see, where did we leave off? Okay.
That's the most exciting part.
Yeah, we definitely did start sharing that when we had Jessica Fern on the show.
Yeah, it's very great episode. Shared a lot of information. A lot of people we've received commentary back from saying thank you for that. We too are on an exploration, so it's been a contribution.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, and then of course you did the show with our son Tyler.
Yeah.
The Spiritual Journey of a Heroin Addict. So another good one. If you want to go watch that one, it would definitely shine a light.
Oh, it showed that
on our journey.
It showed that he really had an understanding of who he was, the purpose. He was going through active heroin addiction, and it let him see a snapshot in his life. Where was he at that time? And he was clear, he was sober and sentient in that episode. It was delightful. And fast forward 2 years later.
Fast forward 2 years later, and Tyler does die of an overdose.
Yeah.
It was hard.
Still is.
Still is. It was 2 years ago.
Yeah, I can cry at any point and every day.
Yeah.
How do you contextualize it though? Because we don't live in a powerful grief energy.
We really don't.
We can feel it. We're crying right now.
I know.
We're crying. But we don't live in this, we don't.
Yeah. We do not. Because through this journey that we were on, through all of this, all of the shows, everything, it really gave us the understanding that it's not one life or your hell and heaven. It's not. That is not what this is. And we were just to realize that he just transitioned into a different space. And we miss him. And the tears are because he was a part of our life, a part of our journey. He is one of the reasons we are who we are and where we're at, really. That was, it's definitely an intense journey. Some of it we feel relief, because it was, man, that was a hard one.
It's torturous.
He picked a hard journey in life.
Yeah, we were always worried that we would receive a call or, some message saying, hey, we found the body of your child in an alley or, a dumpster or some horrific thing. Okay, so to contextualize his passing, he was in a treatment facility. We had rescued him. He was trapped in Mexico City, and you got him on a flight.
I did. I got him out. He
missed the flight.
I got him to
and you got him on another flight. He was just, oh, what are you doing?
Yeah.
We get him back. We put him in a treatment facility. I pick him up from the airport. We have a great day, and he goes into this place. He gets clean. He gets clear. He gets sober. He gets to the point where he's like, I think I'm done with this. I'm going to work in this facility. He did so good. They said, we're going to let you volunteer and you can stay here room and board, because he didn't have any options at that point. And then they said, finally, you've done so good, we're going to bring you on staff. And then he disappears. To our understanding, he somehow obtained some heroin and he had overdosed and he had gone missing.
Yeah, it had fentanyl in it.
And then he came to our house on Thanksgiving Day, 2021. And the whole day you just tell,
We
oh,
knew, we
something
knew,
wrong,
because we've been
something
there,
wrong.
done it so many
Oh boy.
times.
And I was so angry. I'm like, why do you keep doing this to yourself? Because
I
to
know.
me, I just couldn't understand it. But I do remember having this, you know what? As mad as I am, I'm still going to love him. And he spent most of the day nodded off on the couch. And we drank red wine and watched football and had dinner and whatever. And then he had some clarity, some time. We loved him
Hmm.
and he was in his home. He was where his family loved him.
Yeah.
We went upstairs to go to sleep. Alexander rushes into our room later, an hour after.
About an hour after
He said,
we'd gone
Tyler's
upstairs.
unresponsive. We run downstairs. He's ashen, he's gray. And you go, oh my God, he's dead.
Hmm.
He still had warmth. We put him on the ground. I mean, I was trained in CPR and then I became a CPR instructor. So I know how to give chest compressions, but I couldn't think. My vision went down to barely see out of my eyes. It was the weirdest thing ever.
Yeah, thankfully the EMTs got there pretty fast.
They showed up. The heart was able to get started again, but he had not had the opportunity for blood and oxygen to get to his brain because his
Yeah.
heart must have stopped for a while.
Yeah.
And as they did tests through the night into the next day, finally on Saturday, they said he does not have brain
Yeah.
function. There's no blood flow, and they showed the scans. He's literally
He was, yeah, he was brain dead
he's
at that
not even
point.
here. His heart's
Yeah.
beating because we've got him on a ventilator. Because of his high risk category, in his lifestyle, he wasn't eligible to donate any organs except for the kidneys. And they go, do you mind if he's an organ donor? We're like, we would love
Yeah.
that. And there was two male donatees, or however you say it, two people that got to be recipients of that. And so when we did his service, I said when he was a little boy, he used to dress up like a superhero. And at the end of his life, he was a superhero
He
to two
was.
families.
Absolutely.
And so for me, I'm assuming for you, we were like, at least there's some, his like legacy continues to go on.
Yeah. I mean, he was able to give life,
Yeah.
you know, and have two other people extend their life, their human journey here. And also, we had so many people gave to a fund that we
Yeah,
created,
we did a fund for someone to
a
have yoga teacher
scholarship.
training
Yep.
at Southwest Institute of
Yeah.
Healing Arts.
And that was awesome because it actually went to several different people, and we got thank you notes from the students that got to participate in the activity that they got scholarships for. So it was a pretty neat journey.
Yeah. Oh,
So
now I want you to give presents to the last day. We're in the hospital. We're now
yeah, I was just thinking about
complete
that.
with the understanding, is there any hope, whatever. We stand around his bed in his room. You and me and Alex and Nicole are holding hands. We're all bawling.
Yeah.
And you hear over the side.
And Tyler's like, "Hey, I'm over here.
I remember you saying, he says, I'm not there, Mom.
I'm not there."
I'm not there.
We're like, focused, and we're there, and he's already like, "Hey, guys, I'm not there.
Yeah. And
You keep looking at me there, but I'm not."
yeah. I had, during that space, a dream space, and I imagined I had this, I don't know, that hypnagogic space in between sleeping. I felt this image of him looking down after he had overdosed and he had left his, soul rose. I had this vision of his soul rising above.
Yeah.
I saw myself doing chest compressions, and I imagined him going, oh, oh, that's unexpected. I actually left my body. And then I felt him going, oh, I feel so free. And I felt like he was free from it.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was a message that was direct or if it was an imagination, but I had this visceral feeling of him going, oh, I'm free from all the torment and the torture. So I do think that he had an opportunity to continue a journey. He could have been, I don't know, somebody that told other people his story and helped other people.
I know. That's where we always had wished it had gone.
I wish,
You know?
but that was my wish for him.
So
I think he exited at 27 years old. And there's something about the 27-year-old
Sevens,
club.
yeah.
People, souls come in and then they're like, peace out. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Jimi Hendrix and Janis Joplin and Kurt Cobain and Jim Morrison. I mean, all of these, well, I guess they're all rock stars, but there's people that at 27, they're like, I'm out.
Yeah. Well,
And
those are the ones you know because they're in the public. You
yeah,
know, how many people does it happen to that we don't know, you know?
yeah,
So, but here's the interesting thing too. Like, so you were scheduled to go on a trip to record a
yeah.
documentary.
Documentary, we were scheduled to go, I was scheduled to go to Cozumel with the Dive Heart organization.
Yeah. And so this is like a
This is
week,
a week prior to that.
yeah, a week after Tyler passed. And I just said, you know what, just go. I'll take care of everything here.
I was like, oh, it's everything's, what do I do now? Do I not go? If I don't go, then I just stay here and we do funeral plans. Well, then what? I don't know.
Yeah.
So I was like, I think I should go. And I don't tell anybody that my son
Yeah.
passed. I was like, I'm keeping this to myself.
Yeah. Because it would have made it would have been difficult had everybody, you know,
Oh, the video
all
guy.
the sympathy and the, yeah,
And so I was like,
it
I
would have
just,
just changed the whole tone of it.
so
And
I'm there with my brother and we're filming and I'm like, hey, don't say anything to anyone. And, you know, I was like, whew. And you and I would communicate through the week. Hey, making funeral plans. Casey Miller at Sweehaw was so wonderful. She said, have the celebration of life ceremony here. We're going to help you. We're going to take care of
yeah,
everything. Oh,
and
thank
they
you.
did. It
Thank
was
you. Shout out to
fantastic.
Casey. Thank you.
So,
She was just a healing angel for us. And so I'm on this trip interviewing people, and I'm finding that everybody's got something they're going
yeah.
through. It's all the people that have lost their mobility. Maybe they're now wheelchair users. Maybe they had a spinal cord injury or an onset symptoms of ALS or there's something. And then all the dive buddies, some of them are going through cancer treatment. Some of them have, all these financial difficulties. Everybody's got something.
Everybody has something going
And
on.
we ended up creating a film called Adapting to Dive because we're all adapting to something. And I do share that on the last day. So the first iteration of it, I created a marketing video for Dive Hard and I showed it to Lisa Haisha. And Lisa Haisha said, oh, this is horrible. What? She goes, this is horrible. It's a marketing video. It's not a documentary. I was like, oh. She goes, tell your story. You're a guy. You did everything right and life didn't work out. You got financial bankruptcy. Your kids got an addiction and you and your wife were, going through things. And then what happens? Then your son dies. Then you get a divorce. Now you're like, what do I do? Well, you go on this trip and you're learning that all these other people have things in their life and we're all in this together. And wow, that was great. That's the film I created.
Yeah.
Thank you, Lisa Haisha, for helping me with that. It was just somebody going, this is where you need to do, share your story. And that's where your pain does become your purpose.
Yeah. And it's won 10 awards, right?
Yeah. I was really honored to be able to submit it to different film festivals. And, I find myself that year on a stage with a microphone thanking people and saying what a journey it's been. Jim Elliott and I got to travel and do some stuff and we received some awards. And even to this day, it's been a give back. So it's an homage to Tyler.
Yeah.
It's also a give back for Dive Hard. Look at the wonderful things that people in the world are doing.
Absolutely. It's that movie has changed life for a lot of people. They see more possibilities. They see they can do more, have more experiences. Just because they're disabled, it doesn't mean you stop life.
Yeah. Everybody's got a level of challenge. Theirs might be mobility, wheelchair access. Ours might be the life pain because we're in a club now of somebody that's lost their child. That's a brutal club to be in.
I don't know.
But we've all got something. Some people are like, wow, I just feel sad and depressed. And some people are like, there's something obstacle I have to go through in life. And I think everybody's got that.
Yeah. Well, they do. It's just part of the experience that we have. We talk about, spiritual beings having a human experience, and these are the experiences we signed up for coming in here. Some kind of challenge, some kind of trauma, something in our life that kind of moves us into a direction to find out more of who we are.
Yeah.
Right? What do I say? The minute you ask, what's my purpose here on earth? Guarantee you're going to have some kind of awakening.
Yeah. I love that. You're like the beginning of a spiritual journey is when you say, wait, what is my purpose? Why am I here?
Yeah.
Boom, you're now on a spiritual journey. You're on a quest.
You're
It's
you're on a
different.
quest to find out who you really are, because through this life, we've been told who we are. You know, you're the child of so and so, or you're the wife of so and so, and this is your identity, and this, now you're a mom, and this is who you are as a mom. In the church, this is who you are as good little church people. So we're told who we are, and once we start really saying, what's my purpose here? Then you start saying, who am I? Who am I? What do I really like? And I think that's where we got to a point, even in our marriage. Okay, so now let's skip forward. Okay, so
let's party, baby.
So you can see in the first episode, we're married for over 30 years. And then through just becoming more expansive and learning more about ourselves, we wanted to make a choice. And that choice was?
Well, I asked if I could have a soul journey. And to do that, I felt like I needed to be authentic. If I had another experience with another partner, I needed to be available and divorced from that legal contractual marriage. So I asked if we could get a divorce. And that's what I thought I was supposed to do at that point in time. Can we get a divorce? And you're like, yes. And we had an arbitrator we worked with, and we able to resolve the legalities of it and file the divorce.
Yeah, because this all happened. So Tyler passes. Dave and I had kind of already been through, do we do the divorce? Do we not? Obviously, when Tyler passed, we kind of started to trauma bond again because, that's our baby.
Yeah.
It's our, it rocked our world.
Yeah. And I've known you since I was 17.
Yeah.
It's like, we're just like family.
Yeah, we are. We are definitely that. Yeah. And that just isn't going to change. But yeah, so, then it came to, all right, now what? We don't have the whole thing with Tyler. We have to make a decision of what do we do, right? And so we did. We decided to go ahead and move forward and start experiencing different ways of being in this world.
Mm-hmm. And that's been a challenge too, because I'm accustomed to having you. You're my safety, you're my security, you're my validation, you're all of these paradigms, and I had to strip all that away. That was my experience.
So yeah, because that's part of it. It's part of learning that we're safe in this universe, that we're supported. And I know it doesn't feel like that sometimes, but as far as I can tell, we've never lacked anything.
You're right.
So, and learning how to love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And to validate yourself, not having to seek that outside validation. And actually, when you can come to being so centered in yourself that you can validate yourself, then that's where the gold is at.
Yeah. Now, I've shared many times on episodes and podcasts about my journey. Lightly, I had this ayahuasca experience. I saw that there was a list, and the list was marriage and family and business and kids and all that. And then there was this big line. And underneath of it, this was the householder journey. This was the human experience I had had, or we had had. Underneath there was the advanced course. And I felt like if I kept up here, I would be bored by it. And I felt like this was the advanced course, and that meant we had to have a separate journey. I got married to you when I was 19.
Mm-hmm.
The paradigm was, if you have sex with your girlfriend, you're going to go to hell, so you had to get married. I'm like, we got to get married. And then I got to support you, so I went in the Army so I could have money, and I was able to finish up a biology degree. I didn't want to get a biology degree, but I did, and my parents thought it'd be great if I'd be a doctor. I didn't want to be a doctor. We did business. We ended up moving to Phoenix. We church and life and deconstruction. However, I'm now at the point where I'm like, I think we're supposed to have the advanced course. I don't know what that is, but I think we're supposed to go separate ways. So I've detailed my journey. I started creating documentaries. I started doing things like
Yeah.
that. That's my joy and my passion. Your experience is yours experience. So share what you want to be
Well,
vulnerable about, because it's very different than my experience.
yes, we definitely have had two very different experiences
Yeah.
where everything we always did was together.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure because at this point I've had, okay, my son pass away, I'm getting a divorce, so I have these little identities, more identities being stripped away.
Oh, and you're a Cancer sign, a very mommy,
Yes,
nurturing
I like my
moon
little,
child. You're
yes.
you're the best mother too. You're such a good mom.
Aw, thank you.
And so you've got this, I'm going to strip away all of these things.
Yeah. And of course we're empty nesters because all of our kids are grown. I left a job for integrity reasons. And so I had to figure out who the heck is Gayle? It's like, who am I without Dave? It's really been a series of trial and
Trial and trauma. Trial and trauma.
trial and trauma.
I'm the one that's had the trauma sometimes. We had an open relationship,
We did.
and I was like, I would like to have that experience. So I asked the person if we could have that experience. Meanwhile, you had 100 dudes lined up around the block going, wait, I don't have to pay your cell phone bill, I don't have to pay your car payment, and your husband's not going to shoot me? Where do I sign up for this? So how many times did I stay home at night going, and you're like, hey, I had a great night. I'm like, yeah, do tell, little Miss Gayle.
Gosh. No. So we did, so we opened our relationship up, and it's interesting as we and I think you can say this too, as you began to date other people, see other people, starting to have other people input into your life, or just different ways of being. Like I've been able to have so many different experiences, living different places, different types of men that I've experienced as far as living and character and just what they do. And I think for me, I have learned about myself so much because what I found is relationships really show you what programs you're running. And I think we were in a space we didn't really understand how to recognize our programs, but once we kind of separated out, I was able to see them. Just even like I was attracting guys that were addicts or had some kind of addiction or were, in Alcoholics Anonymous. And I was like, why do I keep attracting guys who have addictions? And I realized that was my bat signal I was sending out because our son was an addict.
And you were a good fixer, weren't you?
And I was a damn good blood donor.
Yeah, you had donated your energy and your
Yeah.
life force.
And so
yeah.
I was able to see that and release that. It's fascinating. Every time I meet somebody new, whether it's a guy, a lady, it's just like, I wonder who you are in my life. I wonder what you're going to show me.
Oh, now that is powerful.
Right?
I don't want to gloss over that because every single soul that I have had a level of intimacy with, whether it was physical, sexual, or if it was just having a conversation, I am able to mirror back and go, oh, what am I here to learn from this person? If you look at other people as a teacher, then they're like, I don't like what they did. Why don't I like it? What is it about me that I don't like? I've learned so much. I've had so many experiences that has informed me. Oh, I'm so grateful for anyone that I've had that level of connection with. It has taught me so much, and I'm so appreciative. Now, you continued your journey. You actually begin coaching people on
I
relationships.
did. So as I'm like, what do I want to do to reinvent myself? I realized that the journey that we go down is often the journey that we share with other people. And so when we opened our relationship up, we had to start learning how to navigate that, to communicate in a different way, to deal with jealousy and get to a level of compersion where, we're actually happy for each other that we're gaining these new experiences. After going through and walking that path in coaching, I could actually help others do it. So I am a coach for people with non-traditional relationships. So people who are opening their marriage or swingers or poly, anybody who wants to evolve their relationship. And that's what I called it, relationships evolving, because that's exactly what it is. And, for me, I'm just like, everybody gets to really say what kind of relationship they desire to have.
Yeah.
Breaking down that whole system of it has to be the relationship escalator. You meet, you have sex, now you got to introduce them to the parents, and you got to, get the house and the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids, that whole story of what your life is supposed to look like is just broken down. I was invited to go to a local swinger social club because of my coaching to help people, and I was able to kind of integrate in with that community and understand them even more because I got to be right in the thick of it. And I got to tell you, they have a lot of very solid relationships. These are people who they don't have the hangups of the jealousy. Not now, mind you, there are some still, right? But for the most part, you just see a different level of communication, a different level of respect, even just the fact that you see so many women accept their bodies for exactly how they are.
I love that. That is
Yeah.
one thing I have learned from you working in that open community is how much appreciation, how much respect that there is, and how much caring for one another. And they've broken down the paradigm of, one man, one woman till death do us. Well, what if we just wanted to play? And that's the term that the swinger community says.
Yeah.
Would you
I
like to
like to
play?
play.
Oh, you mean take our clothes off and have sex? Yeah. Oh, well, that sounds, but would you like to play? And it's just intended to
Yeah.
be
A
enjoyable,
playful
a playful, light,
atmosphere.
and it's done with respect and caring.
Mhm.
Now, I'm going to ask if I can share our first encounter. I hadn't been around you for a while, and you're like, hey, I got a call. There are 2 people that I know going to go see 2 other people and have a swinger meetup. And they invited me. I feel like I'm the 5th wheel, literally the 5th member of the group.
It was.
Would you like to come with me? That way it's a balance of 3 males and 3 females. And I'm like, what the hell? I can't even imagine. So you're asking me if I want to go do that? I'm like, oh, yeah, I kind of do. And so my experience, I'm just going to fast forward that there is a space in which you are directly next to me getting intimate with another dude. And I'm like, wow, that is really happening. And you seem to be enjoying yourself. And I'm then engaged with another partner. And I just kind of went, huh, this is happening. Broke down every paradigm, every what is good, what is wrong, what is right.
Yeah.
And I looked at your situation out of the corner of my eye because I couldn't stare at it directly. I wasn't bold, even though I'm the one that asked for the stupid thing. Can we open a relationship? Here you are enjoying yourself. And I literally went, huh.
Honey, I've always supported you fully. I'm just supporting you fully.
You're supporting me by fully, wholeheartedly enjoying and embodying that experience. So, I mean, you were very bold. So I give you gratitude. I give you acknowledgement. Thank you for being bold. And I was able to be in a space going, okay, there's not judgment. I don't have to freak out because this other person isn't really a threat. He doesn't want to take you from who you are and I can't ever see you again because you're my girl. And he's just like, no, I'm just enjoying and she's enjoying and it's something unique and it's novel. And I was like, oh, so I get to enjoy something unique and novel. It was just an experience. I'm like, oh, it broke down that right and wrong and this is
It
the
did.
only way. And I was like, huh. And so, I mean, that was an experience. That's as
Oh,
vulnerable as I'm going to be.
and mind you, this is after we're divorced.
This was after we were divorced. Yeah.
So,
And then you're like, hey, do you want to come to this party? I'm like, okay. So we did shift those paradigms.
yeah, yeah. And breaking that down is so freeing. It really is. When you can just start seeing all the belief systems that are out there, and you're like, is that really serving me? Or am I believing that because I was told to believe that?
Yeah. Yeah. Many people have spoken about belief system BS. It's all the BS that we're taught. I've
Yeah.
heard that. Alan Huguenot was the first one in 2016 that taught me that.
Hmm.
These are belief systems. Recently, Sherry Ann Shara has reintroduced that BS. We're
Yeah.
all given BS. And these are systems of like, oh, I was told this, and it's just a belief system.
Yeah.
Everything we do. My very first ayahuasca, the enjoy the ride and the beliefs, it was about you can't enjoy your life if your beliefs are keeping you from enjoying your life.
Hmm.
And that has been a moniker.
Because
I've
what
gone
you believe becomes
real.
real.
Yeah, it
And that was
literally.
the message you got.
Ayahuasca
And
says, what you believe is real. And I was like, what? It does?
yeah,
She goes, yeah, you believed all these things. That's why they're real. And you're not
yeah.
enjoying the ride. And I'm like, oh, well, how do I change that? And that's the journey.
Hmm. Yeah, it's you start getting that awareness, and that's that first key. You kind of, it's like, okay, it might not be all there, but you got something, and so then the universe just helps us to kind of build on that until we can break it down.
Yeah. So 100 episodes later, we're in a much different place.
Yeah,
We live in different places. I'm going to share the comedy. I bought a little house, or we bought a house in 2019 that our son and his roommates lived in while he was completing his college. Fast forward a few years later, I now live in that house in a little tiny room with 25-year-old
yep,
roommates.
got the frat house.
I'm in a frat house, and the level of cannabis use in the house is different than I would prefer it to be. I'll walk
They
into.
compensate for you not doing
I'm
any.
not a cannabis user. They are. So I'll come home and be like, oh, well, isn't that interesting? Huh.
And you live with the dog. You guys, I mean, if you ever saw some of the episodes, good old Leo.
Leo the pug.
He used to wander on set.
Yeah. So in 2017, the family dog passed, and I was like, okay, well, we're done having pets. Next thing I know, you guys come home with Leo. I'm like, what are you doing? We don't want a dog. Fast forward to today, I walk Leo in the mornings around the park and pick up his poop.
Hey, and you
Still
need to be
there.
grateful. He keeps you moving.
He does. He also makes me stop because he was to pee on every tree. So that's
This is
comedy.
true.
So it's just the journey that we're on. I don't. It's just the snapshot in time.
It
Today,
is.
at this 100th episode level, this is where life is.
Yeah.
I don't know where it's going to go.
I have no idea either.
I am more comfortable being in the unknown now because I was given certainty.
Oh my gosh.
The Bible
yes.
says this, and you're going to be safe and secure and a little superior because you have the truth and you know, and this is the Bible says and whatever, and the pastor said. Now I'm like, okay, those are all belief systems. I'm 100%. You can't convince me that that's the only, you can't. I've already been down too far. I've had too many personal experiences, whether it's hypnotherapy or ayahuasca or a meditation. I've already been down the road too far to not be convinced 100%. Thousands of case studies, thousands of people, everything says the same thing. Spiritual being, human incarnation, having an experience. That's all the point
We're
is.
here to experience and experience and experience.
Inform the soul journey.
Mm-hmm.
So I have now produced a documentary series called Journeys into the Soul. I'm very proud of it. I was able to travel the world, film people having past life regressions, film people having regression sessions, various lifetimes and experiences and memories of the soul, and it's there to inform them. I'm so happy with the thing I've produced. What's next for me? It's uncertain.
I know, but
What's next? I don't know.
I think I've actually through this journey, that's been one of the most powerful things that I have learned is when we get into the unknown and we don't know what's next, that's actually a really exciting place to be because that's where you can create. You really can create from that point. So if you look at it that way, you almost look forward to those times. And we've had them through our lives. It's just we've never recognized them for what they were. And it didn't, I think maybe the church had so much safe, like we were safe and secure in that. So maybe it didn't impact us when we had those moments of change, unknown and change and all that. But gosh, I can remember every time you're like, I don't know what's next. How many times has that been in our life? That was right there going into the unknown. And sure enough, what happens? You start getting ideas because we actually are in the unknown, which is a pause of life, which means now we can hear, we can create, we can launch forward into something new. And I I swear if I look at my GoDaddy, which I did yesterday, if you see all the URLs that we have,
Yeah.
and I can tell you every one of them. He was in the unknown on that one. That idea came to him. Oh, yep. I was in Italy on that one. I saw GoDaddy go through exploring the human journey.
The title was exploringthehumanjourney.com. And you're like, huh. Well, new idea.
I'm like, oh, here he goes again.
Yeah, I do have a lot of ideas. I get great joy out of creating things.
Mhm.
That is the joy space. Even creating episodes of Exploring the Human Journey. It's my favorite thing to do is to make something.
Yeah.
And I like to share what I've learned. So that's what this show has been. It's been my therapy, my talk therapy sessions with numerous therapy session counselors. Every guest on the show has been a therapist for me. And it's been my experience producing documentaries. Lisa Haisha and I produced Soul Blaze Your Life. We did one with master teachers. We did one with metaphysical healers. They're online. I created Adapting to Dive. I created a documentary with Carolyn Berry
Yes.
about going to a place in Honduras and resetting her body, and it was called Healing from the Inside Out. I'm like, I really like this documentary, journaling, how we get there. And then I've created Journeys into the Soul, and I'm so excited about that. That's the newest one, and I'm complete with that phase of the project. So I've got a whole list of other things. I've got shows for documentaries I want to make. I've got scripted
Yes.
shows I want to make. I've got full feature films. I've got a musical I want to produce. And I don't know how I'm going to do it today, but I know if I keep going that direction,
Yeah.
things will unfold.
It's all about taking one step towards it and then
Yeah.
another step towards it and another. And now we're getting to the point where you're starting to receive royalty income and, from your projects. And it's not huge, but it's layering and it's building and it's building and it will get there.
Yeah. So that's the unknown space. I thank you. I call you every day. Hey, I haven't heard from you. Is everything? Yeah. We share locations. I check it, and I'm like, you must be somewhere. So I do text Gayle, and I'll be like, hey, you out to lunch, having fun? She's like, you're spying on me, aren't you? I'm like, yeah, just making sure you're okay.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So I wanted you to be involved in episode 100. You are my soulmate that I've gone through this journey in this lifetime,
Mhm.
this snapshot in time. This is where I am. Where are you at in this journey? Where's your snapshot?
Oh my goodness. I know. It's so fun because when you just kind of stop searching sometimes, things just kind of show up. And that's kind of how everything has happened since we got the divorce. I was involved with the lifestyle club, and then that had
May I just insert here? You ran a lifestyle club
Well, I
for an
did not.
organization.
I helped
Well,
to manage it. Okay.
However, the nomenclature is, you were very instrumental in the daily workings of a lifestyle club.
So that journey came to an end.
That was amazing.
It was very enlightening, I can tell you that. I learned a lot. Learned a
People
lot.
would say, "What's Gayle doing?" She's managing a lifestyle club where
Yeah.
people engage in intimacy with one another. I was like, "Wow, very bold of Gayle. Interesting."
Yes, I have done some very bold things,
Yeah,
haven't I?
you have.
So, so then that journey was complete, and I'm like, okay, do I, go back and start marketing my coaching again? Where does this go?
Well, it's always been present. People still reach
They
out,
do. They
you
still
know.
reach out,
But
and
is
I
it a
still
full
do.
time or is it a part time?
Yeah, but it's
Whatever.
just been kind of a part-time thing because one of the things that I think I'm really brilliant at is helping businesses. Because we've created so many, and through those, how many people would come to me, and then I would help them and launch them out into theirs.
Because
And
you're weird because you like taxes and accounting. I do not enjoy that. You enjoy it. It's like a puzzle piece you put together.
I do.
That's your
I'm
joy.
a puzzle master,
Yeah,
right?
you
So,
are.
so people come to me with puzzles, and I figure them out. So, my current journey is actually a huge puzzle, I can say, and it's for the Anshara Institute. And so it's a nonprofit that is creating a new profession in healthcare. And it's exciting to see that journey unfold and dig into that and help that organization get going. And it creates accelerated healing in the body. The method does, and I've experienced it, and I've heard so many testimonials that it's just really changed their lives. So that's the journey that I'm on right now. So I just have fun. I'm like, here's my talents. Let's see where it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. At this point, all I can do is say, well, I'm going to be intent to enjoy the ride.
Hmm.
That's the message I got that began this whole exploration. Enjoy the ride. What can I do to be responsible, be respectful? How do I be a contribution? But I have to enjoy the ride. And for me, the biggest hurdle has been to do things that come from me that I want to do versus, okay, I won't do what I want to do because I want to help somebody else and then I'll be a good boy or I'll be worthy or
Yeah.
validated or whatever. Well, what is it I want to do? And that, Journeys into the Soul was something I
Oh,
wanted to bring
yeah.
out into the world,
Absolutely.
and I enjoyed that. And it was through partnership with people that were clients, people that were facilitators for these
Hmm.
experiences. So it was still a collaborative journey,
Well, yeah,
but it was something, well, what do
but it
I
was
want
your
to do?
creation.
Oh, it was so fun. And so what is the next thing I want to do? So that's the journey that I'm currently on, is what's authentic to me. I still do work for small businesses. I still help people market their services and products. There's a level of creativity there, and it's someone else's journey. So
Yeah.
like, okay, let me help you because I don't mind being a contribution. Maybe I can receive income,
Yeah.
but that's the process.
For me, I kind of went through that where it's like, well, this isn't really mine. I'm always seem to be helping other people. But then for me, I kind of found that is my joy space actually, is to be able to elevate people in their business, their lives. And so for me, that's kind of my creation, is being able to, you know, allow people to really put that out there into the world. So I think it's become a lot more of my joy space to be able to do that with people. And I'm, a connector. I like to connect different people with, oh, I know somebody who could help you there. I know somebody who can help you there. I love doing that kind of stuff. So
You're good at networking. You're good at
yeah.
connections. That's wonderful. And you know how to use Instagram, which I do not, and I'm not
Oh, honey, I
enjoying
don't.
that.
I know how to use it, but I don't use it.
People ask me, "Are you on social media?" Oh, ask Gayle. I don't. It's too difficult. So
Oh, you've been doing pretty good at it.
we have different paradigms now. We're in different places. I'm still trying to enjoy that experience of who am I, why am I here, experience, explore, expand. So that's where I am. And
Yeah.
I appreciate you. I give you gratitude for, thank you for being on this soul journey with me.
Yeah, well, even though we've been divorced, we still support each other. I had to have some surgeries last year, and you were there and you helped me out, and I super appreciated that. Just having that support.
Well, I want everyone to win. I want us all to win. How can we win? And what are the things? So that's a snapshot of where I
Yeah.
am today and
Me too.
where we are.
There you go. How many years later? What was it? Are we on how many years? 6, 7 years
Yeah.
later?
Well, episode 1 was 6 years ago.
Okay, 6 years ago.
So I always like to ask the guest, if there's one thing you want to leave the audience with from everything we've talked about today, what is that for you? So I'll ask you, what's that one thing?
Think of this life as just experiences. We are here to experience stuff and to play and to have fun with life. We're taught to take it so serious. It just isn't fun when you do that. I mean, sometimes it's fun when you do this and you go, get serious about stuff because you want to get stuff done. However, if the underlying is a fear motivation, is different than a play motivation.
That's beautiful.
And how about you?
If there's one thing I could leave the audience with today, there's no way to mess it up. Doesn't matter what decision you make, there's no way to mess it up because every decision you're going to learn something from.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard that message over and over again from different people, different sources. I've heard that from Clay, who facilitated ayahuasca. I've heard that through sessions in hypnotherapy from people I've filmed. Just make a decision, go with it, and experience what there is to inform your soul.
There's a little bit of a differentiation, I feel, between a decision and a choice.
I like that.
For me, a choice is a lot more clear and provides clarity. So sometimes we get hung up on, I don't know if I should do this or that or this or that. Just make a choice. Clarity will come. You can't mess it up, so don't worry about it. And then you'll feel a lot more freer.
At the soul level, I know on the human level, you might make a decision that has consequences. If
They
you
do. They all
committed a crime, if you've overdosed on a substance, so a decision you make could create something, a chain reaction. So I guess the paralysis we get into is like, oh, I don't want to make the wrong choice because I don't want something bad to happen. Yeah, so let experience, let wisdom inform you. But if it's like, well, I don't know, should I do this? Should I go left or right? Just make a decision, make a choice.
Make a choice.
And go one of those directions and then enjoy the ride.
Mm-hmm.
And if you didn't like the result, make a different choice. Go a different direction.
That's just it. You can always make a different choice, and sometimes consequences are good.
Sometimes consequences are scary.
We always think that word as oh no, something negative is coming, but no, there's good consequences too.
All right. Well, I love you very much.
I love you. I will always love you.
Thank you for being Gayle in my life. Thank you for being a co-parent of 3 beautiful souls. And I have no idea what's going to happen next.
I have no idea.
But to you, my friend, I say
Namaste.
Thanks for joining us here on Exploring the Human Journey. For more information, go to the website at exploringthehumanjourney.com.